You're a Christian.
Well, here we are, watching myself, watching others, watching me. It's a bit meta, isn't it? In this video, I react to a recent Jubilee debate where I confronted 20 atheists. Some were genuinely searching, others, like young Dean, a wannabe Destiny clone, and TikToker Soy Boy, came preloaded with smugness and Reddit talking points. He wasn't there to converse, he was there to perform. So now, I'm going to review myself engaging with him, because someone has to mop up the intellectual spillage. How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I guess since you said morality and purpose cannot be found in science, it would just depend on like what you're referencing. If you're saying a description of your psychological preferences would be considered within science, sure. But I don't think that you have to say that it comes from science in order to be like an atheist. As an agnostic atheist, I don't know if God exists and I don't believe that God exists. And the only ones that I would really reject would be like the all-knowing, all-powerful, all-good, perfect notion of God that plenty of Christians like prescribe themselves. So I guess
How is that relevant to this claim?
Well,
you can tell young Dean's had his 2 Weetabix this morning with soy milk, of course, because he's brimming with that peculiar brand of performative energy only found in TikTok activists and oat laddie revolutionaries. He's clearly spent hours mimicking Destiny's cadence, hoping it'll pass as intellectual depth. But it's so see-through, ultra cringe, really. He hasn't come to engage. He's here for a gotcha clip, a viral moment. But I'm not playing that game. I've seen it before. And I know exactly how it ends.
You're basing a position of morality and purpose in some like notion of God that isn't the same type of notion of God that typical Christians would prescribe. Your notion of God is
what typical Christians?
Yeah, typically when I talk to Christians, they say that they believe in an all-knowing.
How about Cardinal Newman, who defined God as conscience? He's a major influence on all of Catholic social theory. How about that Christian?
Sure. So do you believe in the all-knowing, all-powerful, all-good notion of God?
You can tell Dean's rehearsed this. Endless live streams with his non-binary leftist cucks, all huddled together, strategizing the ultimate viral gotcha moment. It's not about truth or dialogue, it's about TikTok clout. He's not here to engage, he's here to perform. He's a disingenuous little maggot.
You wouldn't lie to save your life?
How much do you know about me? I didn't lie to save my career. I didn't lie to save my clinical practice.
Would you lie to like save your children, your mom, your dad?
I don't think lying would save them.
Can there ever be a circumstance logically that lying could save someone?
Yeah, and if you're steeped in sin, you're likely to live in circumstances like that.
I'll give you an example. If you're like in like Nazi Germany, and it is the case that there's like Jewish people in your attic and you're trying to protect them,
example.
Would you lie to like the Nazis?
I would have done everything. And now here comes the desperate lunge. Dean, clearly floundering, does what so many of these types do when cornered. He drags in the Jews and the Holocaust. Why? Why would you invoke that? Out of every possible hypothetical, you go straight to the most emotionally charged, historically devastating example imaginable. It's cheap, it's manipulative, it's a telltale sign you've lost the thread and the argument. I would have done everything I bloody well could so I wouldn't be in that situation to begin with. It's a hypothetical and it's not answerable.
Hypotheticals?
No, I can't answer a hypothetical like that because it's far. Look, don't play games.
I'm not playing games. I'm just asking if you ate it.
If you present me with an intractable moral choice that's stripped of context and you back me into a corner, you're playing game. I just told you I would do everything that I could to make sure that I'm never in that situation. You can see it on his little beta face. He knows he's being absolutely destroyed. I called him out, nailed exactly what he was doing, trying to corner me with an impossible hypothetical. And what does he reach for? The Jews, especially when we know Dean is an avid Hamas cheerleader. Why not make a hypothetical involving one of his hero leftist dictators? Why this now? He's been caught, called out, and probably just pissed his pants. By the time you've got there, you've made so many mistakes that there's nothing you can do that isn't a sin.
Being born in Nazi Germany and trying to protect people that you care about. Like there could be a Jewish friend that you have and you want to protect them.
I think you should just give up on that line of questioning.
Give up on just like trying to clarify your position? Because you don't like, are you like uncomfortable with me asking this question? It's just a basic hypothetical. Like I could ask you.
It's just a basic hypothetical where you put Jews' lives at stake in Nazi Germany. That's just a basic hypothetical.
Obviously you would lie in that scenario to save their life, but you're like.
This is such a disingenuous line of questioning. It's blatant.
Dean invokes the most sensitive, emotionally charged topics, Jews, Muslims, not to explore truth, but to bait a soundbite. It's a transparent ploy. Corner me into saying something that can be twisted into hate. It's manipulative, it's cowardly, and it's so see-through at this point, it's laughable. I'm not playing that game. There's no way I'm going to engage.
Life, but you're like not trying to answer this question for some reason.
I just told you why.
Are you anti-fascist? Like, so you're
Why
anti-fascist?
are you asking that?
I was just asking, just clarifying. But like, okay, again, you're not answering this hypothetical because you know it shows that you clearly would lie to save
I'm
someone's life.
answering it in
Obviously,
a
that's
manner
not
you
what truth
don't
is.
find acceptable.
Obviously, because I care about truth.
I wouldn't be in that scenario.
Obviously, right? Logically, because that's already happened. Like, that's in the past. You don't have a time travel device. We're bringing this logical hypothetical up to show you that in some circumstances that do happen within the real world, you would lie to save people's lives. So your definition of truth isn't...
And there it is. The mask slips. Are you anti-fascist? What a ridiculous, loaded question. Where did that even come from? It tells you everything about Dean's game. He's not here in good faith. He's not here for truth. He's here to paint ideological targets and lay rhetorical traps, hoping for a soundbite that can be twisted into hate. It's transparent, it's desperate, and frankly, it's disgusting.
Truth isn't actually how we're typically using it. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to muddy the waters when I ask you, like, do you believe this? Do you think this to be true? So you don't actually have to answer the questions. And plenty of Christians don't like that because they clearly see that you don't really like want to be associated with
I can
Christianity.
imagine that I was in a situation where the best I could do as a consequence of my previous mistakes was to tell the least amount of lie I could manage. But that would likely indicate that I had made all sorts of catastrophic errors on my way there.
So you would lie to save someone's life. So again, you do believe it to be true in that circumstance, even though you like lied in that scenario. So
Not
clearly that's
without
not
the
what you see to be true.
context that I put it in.
You were not willing to die for it. You were not willing to let other people die for it. So that's not what you see to be true then, seemingly.
You're doing exactly what I said you were doing at the beginning of the conversation. You're generating an impossible, restricted, hypothetical with no precursors to back me into a corner.
How's it possible? Is there something contradictory about it? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Great conversation.